I'll tell you, I think the key to preventing suicide in the military is twofold. One, we need to be proactive, and then obviously there's a reactive stance also to take. But on the proactive side, I think it's so important that we continue this campaign on resiliency, and that we understand and we train our soldiers and our airmen prior to a traumatic event, how to deal with that event, and how to really to react to that experience. And then on the reactive side, it's so important that everybody understands where to go for help, so that if they are feeling bad, we know who to call and we know what to do.
I think one of the biggest things, especially from a leader standpoint, is gaining the trust of your subordinates. It's very tough for them to feel like they can get help if they walk by an office of a group of leaders or their senior leaders, and they're discussing how mental health is for the weak, and it's for those that are messed up and different things like that. I think if you take a serious approach as a leader and have your soldiers understand that, hey, my leaders support this program, they support me if I'm down, rather than feeling like, hey, they'll act like that to my face, but once they're around all their other buddies and things like that, they start trash talking mental health and saying it's for the weak and saying that this person should be tougher and things like that.
Again, I would have to say the best defense against suicide would be the people. We work with people every day in a very close area. We know when somebody's having a bad day, or if they've got a new baby and they've been up all night. So I believe that we see some of the same things when people start to become depressed, and people start to act a little different, but sometimes we don't always act on those feelings that we have and reach out and say, hey, are you okay? So I believe that the best way to handle that is to make sure that you're there for them, and make sure that you got enough courage to stand up and say something about it.
I would convey my support to other service members, and I do this. I have experienced it, and I share my experience. And you've heard me say this, Trish. Trish Brannon saved my life, and I tell people that, and I walk them through the day that I sat at my computer for most of the morning, and then decided and thought to myself, why am I here? What are they paying me for? And then I had a friend and a mentor that I had a long history with, and she asked me in a private conversation, she said, hey, I heard you quit going to counseling. And I said, I haven't gone to counseling. And she said, and then I knew, because I trusted this person, that I needed to recognize that I had been a changed person, that my experience had changed me. And everybody's experience is different. There isn't a worse or a better experience. Everybody's experience is what they experienced, and it's that level of bad for them in their own life, in their own head. And that comment from that friend of mine led me straight to Trish Bannon's office that day. And I share that experience, and I do often, especially with the junior soldiers and junior officers that approach me and want to visit about whatever's going on in their life.
As a leader, you can show them that they're not alone, that you've been there, make it relatable to them, so they know that we all experience hard times and difficult times. It's asking for help and looking for help.
Living each day with courage, to me, means that we're willing to step in and intercede with people that we see are maybe having a tough time and struggling in life, being able to ask the hard question, the pointed question of, are you considering suicide? Because oftentimes that's all it takes to get them to say, I might be. And to be able to direct them and give them that help, everybody needs to have that courage to say, I'm going to help you even if it makes me uncomfortable.
In terms of live each day with courage regarding mental health, and I would say that what it means to me would be having the courage to ask for help. Having the courage to recognize in yourself that perhaps you aren't right. Having the courage to recognize that you might do something that you might regret, that your family might regret, and having the courage to speak up and ask for help.